Here we are. Once again, back here. I wanted to make a video about fucking relationships. Good and or bad, I don't care at this point. I've never really cared about getting a girlfriend or whatever. I've never cared about it, I never really thought about it, you know? Never really cared for it because I had friends, you know? I was, and always still will be fucking more of a lone wolf than anything. I don't talk much. The people who I care about and love, I try doing my best to be there and try doing my best to, well, just be a good person, you know? And sometimes being a good person, you get mixed up with the wrong people. Such as Dusty, for example. That entire relationship was lies, manipulation, and me being at such an incredibly weak point in my life, to the point where it felt like I was losing my fucking mind. And felt like I couldn't really do anything anymore. And here I am again, sitting in the same chair so many months later now. You know, when you get into your first relationship, if you really love the person, you know, most relationships, you're friends with a person for a particular amount of time, you talk about things, you laugh, you cry. Most of the time, you're friends with the person for a good amount of time. A week, 2 weeks, you know. When me and Dusty were dating the first time, we knew each other for a little while. I got to know her after a while. I really did care about her. I said to myself, you know, if what she's saying is true about her going through all this, I'm gonna try to make her life better. And every single day, even if it was at the expense of me being upset and not caring for myself, I still cared for her. And if I love that girl more than words can describe. And when you get into like a real relationship with somebody, and you actually, you know, you start feeling things. If you've never been in it before, you start feeling things that you never have before. Such as, I mean, it can somewhat be, it can even be in a very close friendship with somebody. Someone who has been with your friend for fucking years, you know? You start to develop fucking, like, in a form fucking, you know, bros or whatever it is. That's how I was with a friend who inevitably he fucked me over in the end. I was destroyed after that because I saw that motherfucker as my friend. You know, I saw him as my brother, even more than my brother. You know, all I wanted was just to be around him, hang out with each other, and fucking have fun, deal with bullshit. I still remember those days, and those days were more than 3 years ago now. I still remember those days. You know, most of the time when I did go to school, I saw every year, and I was so afraid of being alone, and that can somewhat screw around with a person, and I was scared of that. Now, being much older and knowing more, I'm not really as scared because every single day I'm more alone, especially if I go to school. I am more alone than I am with a friend or two. I don't put myself out there. But back to the subject. You eventually become close and attached to the person that you love and care about. When you get into a relationship, if you're friends with the person, it's usually a much closer bond and a much I I stronger bond with someone who you've talked to, with someone who you've laughed with and stuff like that. And being your first time, you at least for me, I felt like this feeling in my heart, and I really really loved her. I fucking adored Dusty more than I can describe. I loved hanging out with her. And months go by, years go by, you become attached to the person. You become so attached if you spend a lot of time with each other, if you talk to each other a lot, you go through things a lot, you get through problems together rather than not together. You really begin to think about things, and you really begin to start feeling in your brain that you can't live without the person. Now, that's exactly how I felt. Feeling was amplified because I was very weak at the time, but that's pretty much how I felt. And then you had the time where everything goes to shit. Whether shit does go south or not is all up to the decisions you make. And all up to the decisions of your girlfriend, wife, fiance, spouse, whatever you want to call them. It's up to those two people to make the decision whether you're going to be with that person for the rest of your life or you're going to separate. And it's always one person who fucks it all up. It is always one, or it can be both, but one always starts it. How do I know? Because I've been through it before. The only problem with my relationship is that, truth be told, Dusty never really loved me. At least, if she did love me, she never loved me as much as I loved her. Because, not metaphorically, realistically, if there was a situation where only one of us could have lived, I would have easily just put myself and just did it because I had some real deep feelings that I wish I never had. Because in reality, it fucked me over in the end. And let's say your girlfriend or boyfriend starts becoming distant with you and just starts changing on you, but you're not sure. You start to think to yourself, is it really gonna work? You don't feel as loved anymore. You grow distant from each other. And after a while of that distance, if you have no one else like I did, you start to become a little upset and you start to become a little sad and you try talking to the person, but like I said, if the person really never cared or if the person just doesn't care anymore, you're not going to get through to them. They aren't going to listen to you. They aren't going to care what you say. They'll say that they'll fix what they won't, and they'll keep proving you wrong up until something like your boyfriend or girlfriend cheating on you. And that is when you start, it really sets in on you that you become extremely fucking destroyed because of it. You become extremely sad. And I felt that, you know. I broke up with Dusty the first time. I broke up with Dusty the first time because I felt like I was being manipulated, and I ended up being right. I broke up with her over my better judgment, even though my better judgment ended up actually being correct. And I think that years from now, I'm still gonna get fuckheads being friends with her on my fucking channel, acting like little assholes because they can't let shit die. I made 2 fucking videos, and now there's multiple videos on my channel about that because I just couldn't take the shit no more. I was done playing nice, and I fucking, in a sense, exploded. Lost my composure. And that doesn't happen for me a lot. After you get heartbroken, or you break up with a girl, or your boyfriend, you start becoming a little fucked up, you know? Becoming a little sad, and it sucks, to say the least. Being in a relationship has its benefits and it has its downfalls. No good thing nor bad thing lasts forever. I'm sure many people have seen the video An Old Man's Advice. I recently watched that video. That person who made the video he passed away. He made videos about trusting in God. The Old Man's Advice videos, though, specifically the first one, I believe, is the one that hits home the most. You know, I would love for people to see my content and say, you know, I'm going through the same thing. Maybe it isn't all bad. And I'm sure years from now, these videos will eventually be seen and eventually get a bunch of hate or get a bunch of love. Now, depending on if people actually like the video, I guess that'll vary from person to person. But, you know, maybe you start becoming hurt after a while. If you break up with somebody like I did, not knowing, truth be told, not knowing whether that person was good enough or good or bad for you. In my case, it was my first time, and I guarantee you, since it's your first time, you're gonna cling on to that relationship until you fucking die. You're gonna cling on to that and keep trying to make it work, because I kept trying to make the relationship work. I kept trying to avoid the obvious answer that I needed to break up with her and block the bitch. It isn't my fault that I blocked Dusty. It's her fault because she was manipulating me. Now, whether people want to believe me or not, that's entirely up to you. I didn't fake anything. The manipulative relationships are by far some of the worst, because in a manipulative relationship, whether that be the boyfriend or the girlfriend, it could be either fucking one. In a manipulative relationship, the person who is being manipulated and the person who is being the manipulator, the manipulator I hate to break it to you, never fucking loved you. The manipulator never loved you. The manipulator could have easily thrown you out the fucking window like you were nothing. And that's just how it is. It sucks, but that's just how it is. People, a lot of the time, like, manipulating other people because that'll get them somewhere. I can get someone to feel bad for me, get with them, make them care for me even more, and then inevitably screw them over. And in the case that a relationship, I'm gonna just say something. Don't ever leave your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever over another person, over another girl, over another guy, because that guy or girl is better looking. Never do that. I remember reading a comment on a YouTube video of a girl got her heart broken because a guy broke up with her because of some other girl. Specifically because of the looks. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what it said. I haven't seen the comments in fucking months. But after a while, especially after being manipulated, you cling on to the manipulator. You know, manipulation is played best if you've never dealt with it before, or if it's your first relationship. That's how you can tell. That's really, really how you can tell. That's the ways that it works best, because in both situations, you don't know what it is. You don't really know what you're doing. And so you'll keep trying to make it work. And that's what manipulation feeds off of. Manipulation feeds off of the trust of somebody and the stupidness of somebody to keep trying and to keep poking at something that is not there. I can say firsthand, it was exactly fucking like that for me. Exactly fucking like that. I was through manipulation. I threw Seth away. I threw Seth away for a stupid fucking girl. Never let a girlfriend or a boyfriend be fucking controlling. Never. If your girlfriend or boyfriend says you can't talk to somebody, don't fucking listen to them. Because I made that mistake. It's a very stupid mistake, and I always said bros before hoes, but in reality, it was hoes before bros in that situation because I was stupid. And Seth didn't help none because he was talking to somebody who I despise even to this day. Seth didn't help any, but in the end, who the fuck was there for me in the end? Dusty or Seth? Seth was. Because I didn't see Dusty when I was pouring my heart out. When I was fucking begging her. Literally on my fucking knees. Sitting back there near my bed. Crying my eyes out. Literally, at the end of the night, I slept for an hour. And that was purely because of fucking exhaustion. I slept for an hour. And when I slept for that hour, I woke up and I still wanted to cry. I was still crying. Because I was so fucking destroyed. I look back on that day. I look back on those days, and it honestly makes me want to cry. Because that time of my life sucked the fucking most. It makes me want to cry because I can still feel that same pain even to this day, and I still see myself laying on my bed and just feeling like someone or something had their fucking arms around me, saying it's okay. It really, even to this day, it makes me kind of tear up. And a relationship did that to me. A girl did that to me. A girl did that to me. For months and months and months. Manipulative relationships suck the fucking most. Never date someone online. Just don't. It's a bad idea. You know, I got a lot of hate off those Dusty videos, but I really don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I said what I needed to say. And Dusty and Seth were some of the best examples of a good person and a horrible fucking monster. And I'd like to say to anyone who is going through a situation where you feel like you can't do it anymore because of someone else manipulating you and they left you to die, like Dusty did me. Don't feel bad. If you made the call and they don't respond to you, they never wanted to be with you in the first place. No one who loves you and who cares about you is going to watch you sit there and suffer. Listen to over 25 fucking voice messages and sit there and not respond to you. To anyone who broke up with a girl and they are not being responsive, or you broke up with your boyfriend, they're not being responsive, please do not put yourself through the same pain that I put myself through for 4 fucking months. Please do not put yourself through that pain. Please do not put yourself in a situation where you're weak. You're strong. Everyone on this fucking planet is strong in their own ways. I'm making this video now because of manipulative scumbag that never cared about me. I'm making this video now and spreading the message. And that message is to support the ones who care about you. This video was dedicated to relationships. I explained some of the key points of a relationship. The beginning of it, the fallout, and the middle. Maybe not in great detail, but I still explained it the best way that I could. I look back on those days and I loved I remember, here's one of the most fucked up things that I remember Seth saying. And that's, he asked me, do you miss her? Or do you miss the times that you had? I didn't miss Dusty. I truly miss the times that we had. Seth will always be one of my hands down best fucking friends. I will never let anything get in the way of me and Seth's friendship, because that motherfucker, I'm gonna say something about Seth. Seth ain't all good. Alright? Seth has pissed me off before. Seth can sometimes be an idiot. We are all idiots at some point, but what makes a difference between an idiot, an idiot true friend, and a manipulative, non-stupid friend is the difference that that stupid good friend of yours that you have talked to, that you have laughed with, and all that shit, that person's gonna be there for you, no matter fucking what. Seth has pissed me off a lot, but Seth has never fucked me over. And those type of people, I respect all too fucking much. I respect the people out there who like Seth, who care about fucking other people, and who don't let their best friends go down the drain, like I was going to eventually. So I'm gonna end this on a good. I'm gonna end this on. I'm gonna end this on a note. I'm gonna tell you. This video is mainly about the fallout of a relationship. Specifically the first time. And I'd like to just touch on the points. The main points of this video. Number one, probably the most important point of the entire video, is don't let your girlfriend or boyfriend get in the way of your friends and your family. The second point of this video is, if you think someone is manipulating you and using you and lying to you, and you break up with them and they don't respond to you for several fucking weeks on end, they never loved you, no matter how much they say it. They never loved you. They lied. They didn't care. Never did. The third point is that if you're crying about someone that you lost, if they're not crying about you, they're not worth crying over. The fourth point is to be careful about the things and about the things that your lover says and does. Now, who am I to say? Who am I to say? I'm making this video now because this is for people who are in a situation that they've been manipulated by their lover, been abused emotionally or physically, whatever, and feel the fucking pain of not having that person in your life anymore. See, some people, once they get through that first really good relationship, you 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 can't hold on to something that's not there. Keep that in mind, everyone. You cannot hold on to something that is just not there. I'm gonna end this video now. And I would like to thank Seth. And I would definitely like to thank DJ for sticking with me through all of this bullshit and for being there for me. I appreciate it from the bottom of my fucking heart. I love you all and thank you for watching this video.